Happy Trails Farm Animal Sanctuary rescues, rehabilitates, and provides adoption programs for abused, abandoned, and neglected farm animals. The sanctuary operates solely on private donations. On Saturday, March 21st, Happy Trails held its second annual Night of Hope and Inspiration. It's an event to thank volunteers and donors as well as raise money to support the sanctuary's many initiatives and efforts. As the only rescue and rehabilitation sanctuary in Ohio, and serving any other state requesting their help, including humane societies, animal protective leagues, and both local and state law enforcement officers, Happy Trails has rescued thousands of farm animals from abusive, neglected, and abandonment situations. On a beautiful evening in Akron, Ohio, more than 470 people gathered for an amazing evening of inspiration and hope. The more than $40,000 raised during the event will help fund the farm's continued operations. Night of Hope, a fitting title for an evening recognizing those serving together for a united cause by united friendships, serving those that can't help themselves. Founder and Executive Director Annette Fisher kicked the evening off.
This event is called the Night of Hope and Inspiration because that is our focus, and we want it to be your focus as well. The work that many of us do in animal rescue can be difficult, disturbing, heartbreaking, filled with sadness. These are things that are expected in the world of animal rescue. However, we don't ever want to dwell on that part of our work. Instead, we want to focus on all the good and positive things that are being done to make a difference and to show that people and animals are connecting in some amazing ways. We want to show that mindsets are changing, and we want to bring peace and healing and show that that's taking place on a daily basis. We want to show that animals who are rescued are touching and changing people's lives, inspiring people, and teaching us many lessons. Several amazing people are going to share their heartwarming stories with you this evening. We're sure that you're going to enjoy their presentations, but before we introduce you to our guest speakers, and before we get into our presentations, there are two very special people we would like you to meet this evening. Happy Trails is an organization that belongs to all of us who support and are involved in the animal rescue services that we provide. It's important to get to know these people who work behind the scenes to make things happen. And there are many, many people involved with Happy Trails who deserve recognition of their hard work and the role they play in the success of the sanctuary. But tonight, two people are going to be recognized for their dedication, their volunteerism, and their extraordinary commitment to making a difference in the lives of the rescued farm animals and to make a difference in the world through their work with Happy Trails. We would like to present the Janice and the George Awards. Janice and George are our two animal founders, having been the first two potbelly pigs who started the sanctuary back in 1999, and we'd like to present these awards in their honor now. First, the Janice Award. Janice, again, is the potbelly pig who is the real founder of Happy Trails. Her coming into my life from a situation of severe neglect was the reason that Happy Trails was created in the first place. Janice was a very important pig. Thanks to her, in the last 15 years, we have now provided peace and healing through rescue, rehab, and placement for nearly 5,000 farm animals. We have created this very special award that we call the Janice Award, and it's named after this pig who has made an incredible difference in the lives of so many animals and people alike, and the award has only been given to one other person in the history of the sanctuary. This award is meant to recognize someone who has also made an incredible difference in the lives of the rescued animals, just as Janice has. It is meant to recognize someone who goes above and beyond, who donates their time selflessly, who works without a great deal of recognition, simply because it's the right thing to do, and who is there anytime you need help. We have such a person we would like to recognize tonight. This person donates countless hours of his time as a retired commercial electrician to upgrading and improving all electrical needs of the sanctuary. He brings in other electrician friends when he needs electrical assistance and asks them to donate their services as well. He constructed the interior of the new mini vet clinic, created the dividing wall, installed the metal ceiling and the metal walls, ordered and installed the Resonator heating unit, designed and installed the amazing lighting for the new vet exams, cut and installed all the floor mats, and is getting ready to install the plumbing for the sinks. He hauls horses and other animals for us to Columbus and other vet hospitals. He's a volunteer on the Happy Trails Emergency Rescue Crew. He picks up loads and unloads massive amounts of heavy hay bales throughout the year. He drives the Happy Trails dump truck and hauls loads of manure. He works on the dump truck and does repairs and upkeep. He fixes fencing. He is at Happy Trails often 4 and 5 days a week. He is always there when we need him, and he does a million other things around the sanctuary as well. Whenever Janice the pig was happy and all was content with her world, she would make a noise that sounded like the word boof. Okay. She would make this sound whenever she approved of whatever was going on around her, and I believe that Janice would give us her blessing for the person we chose to receive this award and declare that he too is very boof. So on behalf of the board of directors, the staff, our volunteers, and in honor of Janice the pig, I would like to present tonight the Janice Award to our very own Bentley Hudson.
For those that you know me, you're going to be very surprised. I'm speechless. But thank you. I'd like to thank everybody that works out there, because without you and you people out here tonight, we couldn't do what we do. Thank you.
The second award that we would like to give tonight is in honor of George. George was Janice the pig's best friend. When Janice's arthritic legs no longer worked, George would do what we called walkabouts. He would wander throughout the sanctuary, visiting the other animals. He would come back to the log cabin where Janice waited for him, and he would share stories of his adventures with her. He would oink and grunt and snuffle, and she would do the same. And George's role in Janice's life was extremely important. George would keep her spirits up and provide her with lifelong companionship. He was also her biggest fan, her friend, her best friend, her confidant, and George was also an icon at Happy Trails. After Janice passed away in 2007, George continued to be our link to the very beginning of the sanctuary. At about 16 years old, George crossed the Rainbow Bridge this past year. We would like to acknowledge his extremely important role in the development of the sanctuary with an equally important award to be given to a volunteer who supports the sanctuary just as George supported Janice. This is the first year for this award. The person we would like to honor with the George Award donates her time, not just at Happy Trails, but at several other nonprofit organizations as well. She assists our animal caregiver staff with all manual labor, carrying and unloading bales of hay and straw, scrubbing buckets, and providing fresh water. She transports animals. She takes photos for us, quite a few, which you've probably seen on the covers of the Happy Trails newsletters. She helps at community events. She trains and watches over our high school and college student programs. She is part of the emergency rescue team. She helps to strip animal shelters every Saturday and provides them with fresh straw. She puts in countless hours of manual labor. She helps in every way and any way possible and has been present at the sanctuary 3 to 4 days a week while we're learning and growing. And on behalf of the board of directors, our staff, our volunteers, and in honor of George the pig, who is one of our founding animals, I would like tonight to present the George Award to retired school teacher Cindy Dilly.
Thank you. have been there, you know what an amazing place Happy Trails is. Obviously, for those of you who haven't, we'll hopefully see you this spring now that it's getting a little drier. It's an amazing place for me. It's a place where I can feel comfortable. It's a place where animals come in sad situations. We love them. We give them hope. And the best thing we do is we send them off to new families. So thank you very much and enjoy your evening.
Annette is a super person. She is a AA personality. Without Annette's get up and go and fire, there would be no Happy Trails.
She just never gives up, and she makes you want to be a part of this.
The passion that Annette has for Happy Trails and for the welfare of animals is beyond anyone I've ever known.
She is dedicated. She didn't take a paycheck. I don't even think she makes a paycheck today. And not too many people would dedicate their life without some financial reward.
In my opinion, God puts certain people on this earth who are just so strong and so gifted, and they're just natural born leaders. They were put here to make a difference. That's Annette Fisher.
She is so grateful to everybody and everything that has helped her and helped support Happy Trails Farm Animal Sanctuary.
Annette Fisher is a driving force behind this organization. It could never have started without her.
When she rescued Janice, the first pig, she just suddenly became aware of a huge gaping hole in animal welfare, and she decided that she would fill it. And she's been filling it ever since.
I don't know what drives her. If I knew, I would want to have it, because she's on from morning until night, and she is really driven. She's very passionate about her involvement in the organization, and her enthusiasm is it just draws you in.
She has taken these very sad situations and she makes them fun and upbeat so that people want to be part of it.
She's the driver of this bus, and we're more than happy to take the ride.
The mission has always stayed the same. They've got a lot more animals they've rescued. Their barns are full, their pens are full. They've got a lot of new buildings and that, but they've always maintained the same mission. It's always been the animal.
It's the only organization devoted to the rescue of farm animals.
We are saying no to animal cruelty.
Happy Trails, first of all, raises awareness of the fact that farm animals are every bit as valuable as the dogs and cats that live in our houses and sleep in our beds. And they deserve the same respect that the animals that most of us tend to realize are something that we need to take care of. We don't always think about that for farm animals.
Seeing animals that had once been so severely abused and neglected, healthy, happy, friendly, and to be able to touch and be with them and to experience them up hand, it was something that you just don't forget.
We go out, and the satisfaction of knowing that some of these animals that have been abused for months and years, we're going to take them to a better place.
There is no place else to go for these animals. There really isn't. And they also are the only ones that handle the farm animal cases, is my understanding, for the whole state of Ohio. So their impact is really huge.
They provide that opportunity, they provide those facilities for those animals and a place for them to go. And that's an option that they wouldn't have if it was just based upon the local animal welfare society.
We are an outlet for them, for animals that they can't normally handle or don't know how to handle.
They're not equipped, they don't have the spaces or the facilities to deal with the demands of farm animal rescue, which are greater than, they're more physically demanding than a dog or cat, a domestic animal rescue organization.
Any kind of farm animal we take, and nobody else in this area does.
This area has a lot of horses, and horses have been really at risk in this area for the last few years because of the economy, and they have jumped in and rescued so many horses.
We just rescued 14 horses in the month of January. That night it was 10 degrees below zero.
We hooked up our truck and trailer, and we went on one of the rescues, and it was really nice seeing everybody coming together like that, just for the love of the animal.
Anytime we are cruel to any living thing, it diminishes us.
I'm a guy from Long Island, New York. We didn't have horses. The only time I saw them was on television.
Their impact regarding pigs has been huge too, and particularly pot-bellied pigs. because there's such a great misunderstanding of that. People got them as pets because they thought they were cute and they thought they were cool and they thought they'd stay small. They don't stay small. They get very large. They aren't the easiest things to take care of when they get big. And people then just abandon them. They don't want them anymore.
We touch a lot of people. They've had rescues down in Columbiana County. They even took some chickens from California. We've rescued some animals from a cockfighting ring up in Cleveland by the airport.
It's our responsibility to take care of these animals that we have domesticated, we have brought for our own use. And I think that's one of the reasons Happy Trails is important, because they make us constantly aware of that.
They're in it not for the glory. They're in it to help the horses and do what's best for all the animals.
When you can see where you've assisted someone else in meeting their goals, you get the satisfaction out of it, even though it wasn't your goal. It was just an accomplishment that you were able to do together.
What you see is the after effect of, here's this wonderful horse that was in such terrible shape when we got him and now he's ready for adoption, or this pig, or these chickens. And she tells wonderful stories about them, so you want to get involved. You aren't repelled the way so many animal organizations have done over the years, much to our discredit.
Very self-gratifying when you help them when they're at their most needed.
You can't help but want to be a part of something like that.
Night of Hope was our biggest event yet. We had more folks attend than any previous year. Our supporters and donors always go above and beyond to support us financially, and at this year's Night of Hope, they stepped up even bigger. If it were not for them and you, we wouldn't be able to continue the tireless work we started over 10 years ago. We can't thank our supporters and volunteers enough for giving and for supporting us. Our annual fundraising event is aptly named Night of Hope because it's an evening of inspiration for us and for our supporters. And though Night of Hope, the event itself, has concluded for this year, our efforts and work continue every day. If you were unable to attend Night of Hope and you'd like to donate to Happy Trails Farm Animal Sanctuary, you still can. You can make a tax-deductible donation online at www.happytrailsfarm.org. You can mail a check to 5623 New Milford Road, Ravenna, Ohio 44266. Or you may choose to select an item from our wish list. Or you may choose to become a monthly sponsor of a rescued animal. Donations can also be made over the phone by calling Happy Trails at 330-296-5914.
The organization couldn't exist without them. The donors are needed, desperately, because that's where the money comes from to fund the operations.
They need so many things, many of which aren't expensive, that it wouldn't require a big donation. I mean, they need hay and they need straw and they need food and they need just all kinds of small things. They could start by just bringing some of those things to the sanctuary, spend a little time there, and then realize some of the greater needs.
And that's what gives Happy Trails the opportunity to go into, not just Summit County, but to get into surrounding Portage County, Stark County, to increase the reach of the range of rescue.
Money obviously is always really important because it costs a whole lot of money to take care of those animals. I don't know how she does it. I really don't. I don't know how she does it physically, I don't know how she does it emotionally, and I don't know how she does it financially. I think she's one of the most amazing people I ever met.